All right. Hi, everyone. Welcome to FrontFundr's August Pitch Perfect edition. We're just going to give everyone a couple minutes to join in here. So just for everyone to keep in mind, this presentation may contain forward-looking information. There can be no assurance that forward-looking information will prove to be accurate, as actual results and future events could differ materially from those anticipated in such statements. Accordingly, viewers should not place undue reliance on forward-looking information. We're now going to look at turning things over to Shauna Lee from Forge and Foster. As mentioned, they're a really exciting investment opportunity in a Nova Scotian beachfront resort destination property. So Shauna Lee, would love to hear a little bit more about this investment.
Awesome. Well, I'm glad and excited to be here. This is my first presentation with FrontFundr. Happy to share what we've got going on here at Forge and Foster. So I'm Shanali Oveas. I am VP of Investor Relations. We are a real estate investment firm in Hamilton, Ontario, where we focus on creating vibrant communities and economic value for stakeholders. Currently, we have over $350 million assets under management with a professional team consisting of property management, asset management, financing, leasing, construction of expertise. We uphold a strong track record with market-beating returns, and one of our success stories that we've accomplished with our friends at FrontFundr is 193 James Street North, as seen on the photo right now in Hamilton. So we're on track, it's doing quite well, and we'll actually be ready to go to market. Amongst our commercial portfolio, we've expanded into recreational properties, where I present our first venture into Atlantic Canada. So we've acquired Plage Saint-Pierre Beach Campground. It's located in Chéticamp, Nova Scotia. This opportunity allows investors to co-own a beachfront destination for as little as $1,000. What we realized with true potential, tons of improvement and expansion, and it currently has strong cash flow. It is a 67-acre site on the coast of Chéticamp Island. It's surrounded by Acadian fishing villages with rich culture. Guests can take advantage of the 2,500 feet of private sandy beach on the province's warmest bays. There's travelers and locals that can delight in the world-renowned Cabot Trail within the Cape Breton Highlands National Park. I've had the opportunity to visit the province a couple of years ago, took the chance on doing the Skyline Trail. I recommend everyone to do that. There's stunning views of cliffs, beaches, wildlife, forested canyons. It definitely is an undervalued beauty of Canada. I definitely have to check that out. So there's a huge key driver for tourism. The park alone brings 300,000 visitors a year. So a couple of photos of the cabins, the beachfront, that's sandy beaches, tons of amenities on site, the beauty views of the Atlantic. And of course, given that it is in Nova Scotia, the tourism has been a high drive, especially coming out of the pandemic. There's more and more visitors taking flights to the East Coast, taking long drives, which I've had the chance to, and that in turn boosts the RV sales and the need for campgrounds like Plage Saint-Pierre. Since social gathering restrictions have been lifted, for the recreational properties have increased, and FNF intends on capitalizing on the market strategies, capitalizing on the market rates, reducing vacancy, streamlining operations, bookings to save time and expenses. The previous owners were doing it by pen and paper system. We've actually now created the online platform where they can book it a lot more easier. And now we're having more vacancies that way, just alone of making that operation change. We are also exploring expansion opportunities for new sites on the 67 acres through planning, research, and analysis. Reasons why to invest with Forge and Foster and this opportunity. Well, we've got a robust track record in successfully managing real estate, from industrial, commercial, warehousing. We already have successfully owned and managed 15 campgrounds in Ontario. We deliver over 30% internal rate of returns to our investors with strong existing cash flow on hand and a driven business plan. Articles have shown from Royal LePage that there's a forecast of a 17% increase in cottage prices in the Atlantic Canada, and allowing for this type of diversified real estate investment opportunity of a beachfront here in Canada, other than the usual single family homes and condos that we see a lot of people invest in, and needing a lot more cash down payment as such. So there's an opportunity to invest in real estate on a beachfront out east for $1,000 at FrontFundr. So a couple of that key metrics that I'll say is that we're raising 595,000. 60% of that has already been raised. We're looking to use the funds in continuing the operations, renovations, and taking care of expenses. So it is a 2-year term with the IRR, or the internal rate of return, at 44.3% and an equity multiple of 2.1x. So with this exciting new venture adding to our portfolio, we foresee a lucrative investment that we'd like for you to participate in the rising market out east. If you'd like to participate, you've got my contact details on screen and a QR code to find out more information. So thanks for listening.
Great presentation, Shaunalee. I know you've been giving everyone a round of applause after their pitch, so I'll return the favor there to you. I think, yeah, great presentation. It's really interesting to see investment opportunities like this. I think, you know, the housing market across the board in Canada is just so inaccessible for most people to get into, either as a homeowner or as an investor. So it's really interesting to see opportunities where you can get in for, you know, only $1,000 to be able to kind of participate in real estate as an investment opportunity, which is fantastic to see. So it's a great way to involve the community. So it's really, really great to see you guys doing that as a business. I know you mentioned in the presentation just that you guys obviously have a track record of success. You've actually done another round on FrontFundr with one of your properties in downtown Hamilton, which is great to see. So perhaps you could tell us a little bit more about some of the successes that the team has had in the past with your investment properties.
Yeah, FNF has a network of internal and external agents, which we have weekly deal team meetings and stay ahead of the market. So we're very in tune with the whole company. We get a lot of deals off market, which is an advantage, and we pounce when we see something that's undervalued. So things that that need TLC, things that don't, some typical investors that look the other way. So we have that eye where most don't take a chance on. So we already have most of our returns backed in day one. So we bought undervalued properties. So we kind of take that and bring conversions and retrofit.
That's fantastic. You mentioned as well a little bit of what the Atlantic market is like, and Nova Scotia in particular. And one of the things that I read throughout the pandemic was that we were seeing a lot of people move away from the larger cities like Toronto, Montreal, and actually move out to some of the coasts, whether that was Atlantic Canada or the west coast of Canada, because they really wanted to appreciate the nature and the environment. And we certainly saw definitely increased migration rates over that period of time. So perhaps you could tell us a little bit more of what was the rationale for you guys as a business to kind of say, okay, we're going to look at expanding to Atlantic Canada as that next step?
Yeah, so we've got a great growth right now in the success of our Ontario recreational portfolio. And the reason why we decided to expand in the Atlantic is, you know, we have two parameters that when we overall look at deals. Is it going to be a great deal on its own? Or two, we follow market trends, of course, as we mentioned, that the population movements or migration move into major capital investments by government or even large institutions, right? So we kind of follow the flock of herd of where the government and large institutions see a great upside. And we see in following suit of that, and we see that happening parts of in the Maritimes, like the Atlantic coast.
That's great. Absolutely. And I guess in terms of assessing those new opportunities for Forge and Foster and things like that, are there plans to further diversify you guys geographically into other markets throughout Canada, or you know, what are you guys looking at as some potential next steps to, you know, look at investment opportunities even beyond those current regions?
Well, I always say the world is your oyster. We always look for opportunities to diversify into markets that meet our mission while chasing those lucrative investments for our stakeholders and investors. So at the moment, we are continuing to explore the Atlantic and strongly support the Southwest Ontario.
That's fantastic. You mentioned a minimum investment of $1,000, which is fantastic. Great opportunity for investors to join into a real estate investment opportunity. And we've got 14 days left on the campaign, so definitely encourage everyone to check out the campaign page soon. That's frontfundr.com/Forge and Foster. But for those tuning in today, Shaunalee, perhaps you could just summarize some key reasons why investors should consider an investment opportunity in Forge and Foster.
Right. Yeah. None of our deals are ever generic. We have an amazing track record where we share both good and bad. But on average, we've had market beating returns where we actively look for properties that have problems that most investors can't understand. Again, we have a competitive advantage in that sense. Be it the recreational resort market, which we now see many groups are following our lead, environmental, structural, or vacancy challenges. So we've undergone all that under our belt, and now people are seeing that opportunity and following our suit. So we always seek value where we have an edge, and that's what makes Forge and Foster very unique in that real estate investment firm, with having that kind of keen eye than the average eye would turn away on.
That's fantastic. It's always important when looking at real estate investing to try and find a place that's underperforming, where you can kind of bring your expertise to the table and get it up to where it should be performing, in the short term. So Right. It's great to see that you guys are able to leverage your expertise and you're able to dive into some of those more challenging properties, because you guys have the knowledge base to really take those to the next level. So thank you so much for the pitch today on Forge and Foster. It was great learning more about your Nova Scotia beachfront property. So really appreciate that. So wrapping up our presentation today, just for those who might be new to FrontFundr, just wanted to give a quick high level as to what FrontFundr is and where you guys can find information about investing in these fantastic private companies. So we're Canada's leading equity crowdfunding platform. We make it easy for all Canadians to invest in Canada's most exciting startups and growth stage businesses, just like those you all had the pleasure of hearing from today, for as little as $250. We've done over 100 raises now, raising over $120 million across 15,000 investments, and we've got a community of over 34,000 users. So for those who do have questions about how to get started, definitely encourage you to go visit frontfundr.com. If you have any questions about how to make an investment, we have great resources available on the website itself. And you can also reach out to our team at support@frontfundr.com with any questions that you might have. So thank you so much for your time. We hope to see you back on the next edition of Pitch Perfect. So thanks everyone and have a great day.